Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to Shared Tangos, ladies and gentlemen, the evening edition. It's 5:30 p.m. Mountain Time, May 21st, 2020. We got 2 days left of Dota Pit EU, so our mornings have been occupied, and we're getting our weekly podcast in nice and late. Trent, how you doing? You get the kids put down?
I did. I've become the baby whisperer of the household. Due to our current schedule, you see.
Okay.
We start at roughly noon my time, and my wife has class from around 10:30 to like 11:30 or 12-ish. So sometimes we need a little buffer zone with the grandparents coming over.
Okay.
But yeah. So then I work from like 12 to 6-ish, and then she starts doing homework again after dinner. And after the kids are all tubbed up, and I got to put them to bed, you see. So
okay,
I've really got to make sure that the faster the babies go down, the faster I get downstairs to chill out. So great success,
man.
Yeah.
Wow, really keeping it real in the basement.
I'm spreading myself pretty fucking thin if I can just drop a harsh F-bomb right there, because that's how I feel.
Yeah,
I am exhausted, dude.
Oh, wow.
I miss daycare with a passion.
I guess it's everyone I know that has children that I follow on Twitter are continually tweeting about how difficult it is to work full-time, maintain a relationship, and deal with 1, 2, 3 kids full-time. Because, yeah, there's still no... When's babysitting coming back? When are you going to be able to hire the...
June 8th it'll start.
Yeah, we'll see.
So
wait
it's not
until
that far
about
away.
June 4th, and then that 8th will get pushed back to a 16, and then another 24, and before you know it...
Yeah, it's already been pushed a little bit, and that's still very tentative, and we don't even know if we're going to send him, even though we're only going to be sending him back for 2 days a week anyway, just to start getting acclimatized to it, so... Because my wife will be done her classes by then. So.
Okay, makes sense. Well, geez, bud, I'm sorry to hear that it's so tight on the home front.
I mean, I love it because obviously I get to hang out with my kids all day. Like, It is awesome. There's no doubt. It's just exhausting. It is when you're working. Like,
yeah. Well, these events are sprints. I mean, these events are exhausting. You casting 2 best-of-3s is still, that's a solid day's work. That's 6 to 8 hours of you're on. Some of those games are long, especially these elimination matches. Some of them are,
This is what I pretty much planned on talking about tonight.
Dota Pit?
Yeah. No, just like the feeling of like this 6-hour cast from home and like what it feels like when a cast ends. And I was thinking about it a lot because like the perfect example was that game where they bought the rapier. And so like when you're so tired, I'm relying on like so much of like my habits and my background of Dota to just carry me. You know what I mean? It's like any job that you're doing where you're autopiloting. And so my autopilot brain just starts thinking about rapier, Phantom Assassin, odds of, hitting it. It doesn't even take into account like new rapier. How many times we talk about new rapier with True Strike? We talk about it for like 6 months now.
Yeah.
But my brain in that moment's just like, oh, that could be an issue though because there's evasion, and she doesn't have any way to deal with that because you're just relying on old knowledge that's not helping you out in the moment.
It's hard.
It was pretty funny because after the game you're like, Trent, we fucked up. It's like, what? Rapier hits True Strike. And I'm like, yeah, so? I was like, oh, yeah, we didn't say that, did we?
Oh, yeah. We said the exact opposite of that. We went on a whole tangent about how she got the extra 30% talent at level 20, so it was 80 instead of 50, and this evasion.
How she didn't get it.
Oh, no, how she didn't get it. I'm sorry. You're correct, yeah. But still, we were specifically, like, analyzing the numbers of the percentage that she was going to evade. And that, I mean, I only noticed because of Twitch chat. I also completely brain farted on it. I did the same thing. I mean, it's been relatively busy in some of the other projects I'm working on. So, like, after I'm done casting, I don't get to just turn off and then watch TV. I'm still working on some of this other stuff. And, yeah, it was the same thing. End of the day, and I wasn't thinking about it and just went, well, yeah, of course. Yeah, evasion's great against me.
Well, yeah, it's Phantom Assassin.
It's been like that for years. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it is definitely difficult. It's also hard because I've been so like out of Dota in a sense of just like with the kids, like because I'm so used to being able to watch so much Dota, even when I'm not casting a lot. I'm just like watching constantly, right, to like stay up to date. But not the best way to spend time with your kids is watching Dota. So I try not to do that.
Yeah, that's totally fair. It is strange though because when I remember starting at BTS, and we always had this mantra of nobody knows all the Dota mechanics. Dota is this really crazy, complex game with a lot of really weird interactions. And I remember LDN Gods always, like, we would talk about it, but there was always this essence of don't beat yourself up if you don't remember shit. Don't make yourself look like a dumbass, but frame it in a way that can make it a conversation point if it actually is something interesting. And back then, things were still a lot more consistent in some ways. There were more inconsistencies, I guess, in the nuances of like the programming, but they were consistent with the way they'd always been. And now we've had just general game mechanics flipped back and forth with this works on Roche, this doesn't work on Roche, this works on Roche again.
Feels like Michael in The Office. Do you know the mental toll 3 vasectomies has on a person? Snip, snap, snip, snap, snip, snap.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much. That's like stuff like Luna's Aura, Undying's ult, Howl on Lycan. If you haven't actively played this hero or watched a game where somebody explained it or specifically read that patch note, think about how many patches we've had that are just so long with all of these reworks and changes. No one person can play every hero and just reset all that wiring. Bane being able to auto-attack through Nightmare. That's one that you just have to rewire.
Dude, when I play Bane, I still don't attack people.
I know.
Until my third Nightmare, I start attacking them.
Seriously. I mean, you're rewiring 5 years of training that, no, you don't do this. This will fuck up the thing that I'm trying to do if I do this. I saw a great YouTube video a long time ago about that very concept of rewiring where he took a bike and he inverted the handlebars and then tried to ride it.
Oh my God.
It's super fucking hard and seems impossible. But once you train yourself to do it inverted, then you have the equal but opposite problem going back. You try to do it normal and you feel discombobulated because your sense of physics is all off. So it's just about training yourself to what is the norm, and switching that state is what's difficult. The state is relatively arbitrary. Whether you use inverted or regular controls, what you're used to is what you're used to,
Yeah. But I feel like I'm training up. Like I feel like it's getting better and better with every cast and everything. Just like getting back into the flow of things after so long of just like not being completely.
Yeah.
Like this job requires pretty much total immersion in Dota, especially I think when you're doing like the co-caster thing too. It's always gonna make you a better caster on the other side, but in the end, I'm supposed to be the final say of just like this is correct as your analyst. You know what I mean? Like you're giving way more leeway than I'm supposed to have, and that's fair because that's my whole job and role.
Well, and usually I have to control the camera, so that also like adds
exactly.
To,
that's another big part.
I never feel bad about like putting extra shit on my co-caster. It's like, all right, I'm doing production, I'm doing the fucking camera, and I'm hosting the goddamn show. You can do some extra shit. I don't mind throwing some curveballs your way and seeing you Google it on the spot.
Yeah. I definitely I'm willing to take the hits on those ones. but yeah. So it's I'm not gonna lie. I was a little nervous when I found out we're gonna be Secret OG tomorrow because I still don't feel like I'm back up to my total self. Probably going to grind a little research tonight to really try and get back to the old Trent status, but it should be fun.
No, I feel the same way. That's why I played 2 pubs yesterday. I played 2 Witch Doctor games. I went 1-1. I think I said at the beginning of the broadcast today whoever won mid won the game. We got stomped one game, and I stomped another game, and it was relatively satisfying. But I do feel like playing some pubs and getting a couple games where you win and you're controlling stuff and you're I don't know. There's some synergy with me in terms of watching games and being to emulate what I've seen, and it goes away quickly. But when we're casting a lot, it makes me want to play and try to apply some of the stuff that we've seen. And when I do that, that's when it really sticks, and I feel like I can start to visualize the picks. I can see the movements. I don't have to ask you. I can talk to you like an educated Dota player. I need to play a little bit. I might play a couple tonight. Get the vibes going.
Yeah, I could be down for some of that. It's just I wish I could just play Dota, dude. Maybe I'll just tank it one of these nights, and if they wake up and I have to abandon, then so be it.
I mean, it happens. I don't know.
I just feel bad ruining a game for 9 other people.
I know what you mean. I mean, it sucks. You have to assess what the chances are. I would say if it's relatively low. I mean, if it's a coin flip, I don't know, dude. I'd probably chill on the ranked. But if it's like a 1 in 10, something like that, I don't know.
Time to roll the dice,
If we were in the casino, I could probably encourage you to put $5 into the slot machine. I don't know.
Yeah, it's going to be good, though. Yeah, so I am excited, though, that we're going to be doing that. It's going to be really fun to watch Tier 1 Dota. There's a massive difference between the good shit and the just okay shit.
Yeah, it's wild when it's always hard to analyze these games where it's somebody versus Secret, and Secret drafts this kind of wily stuff, and you're analyzing it like, is this good? I don't know if this is even the right question because it's Secret and they do stuff that other people seemingly can't do. And when you factor in the skill aspect, sometimes it's hard to really analyze what's happening in the game. And you feel like you're trying to add extra context to stuff that's like they're just playing better. Like they just kind of edged all the lanes a little bit in their favor. They have an exact strategy. They're just a half tier ahead, a full tier ahead, whatever you want to call it. And it's sometimes hard to make that really interesting. You feel disingenuous really trying to hype up the odds for the underdog when you know
it's like... Of course you do. We're not really into bullshitting that kind of stuff. That's not really our jam, I don't think.
Yeah, I know. You still have to do it a little bit, though. You have to try to paint the picture that there's some hope. If it's 5% to 95%, you have to put some spotlight on that 5%. Because all those teams have fans, too. And Secret's so good that some of the teams that they make look a little foolish sometimes are still really fucking good. And they, those teams make other teams look foolish. It's the tiers start to change really quickly when you get to this, like the top 5, the drop off between the top 3 or 4 teams, and then like the 5, 6, 7 is very substantial, more than people realize.
Of all the times for this COVID to hit, though, at least it's when we have, we were kind of complaining all last year about how there was one region that was super stacked. Well, thank God there is.
Yeah.
Like, what if there was only like 2 good teams in Europe and CIS?
I guess we'd be casting C in China. I mean, one region's got to be good, right? Something's got to be hyped somewhere.
China will always be good in these situations. There's no doubt. Like, they could. I'm sure their tournaments are amazing right now. Obviously, it's hard to get a peek at those. That's what I actually want to watch, is some Chinese Dota, to be real. But
I wish the sleep schedule wasn't so fucking bad. I feel the same way. I'm really curious as to what's happening, but the last shift that we did that was overnight felt like it kind of killed part of my soul. I don't know what it was. I just couldn't get on the schedule. B-Cop, shout out to you, bud. I mean, the overnight
he lives the life.
If you are like Mott and you're a night crawler and you just naturally, if it's your way, you're staying up till 5 a.m. and sleeping till 3 or 4 p.m. Mott and Jenkins are 2 people I've seen they'll do it for weeks straight, and that's just their norm. And I can, if it's for an event, if you're paying me a day rate, I can do a lot of things. But if it's just sort of for the love of it, goddamn, I'm getting old, dude. Jeez. I can't do those overnighters like I used to.
Casting NA soon at AP Cup. Yep. But it's been good. I don't know. I'm very impressed with how the online's gone. It's going better than I would have anticipated. The viewership, it has definitely dwindled some, I think, since it first popped off.
Yeah.
Like, I think people are probably going to get, as it continues, I feel like it's going to go down further and further, where it's going to be like people are getting tired of online events because they're slowly just missing the offline events more and more. But part of that's also going to be the patch as well as the battle pass too. That's going to be another big part of it.
For sure. The battle pass will be a big bump. And I guess that is a news piece that we got at some point today that supposedly that's coming out early next week, potentially. I don't know if this shit's...
That's what Valve and Wikram said. So I mean,
so that's
got to be true.
Pretty legit. High expectations for this battle pass. TI-10 anniversary, whenever it ends up taking place. This is a massive milestone for Dota and the internationals, so I'm sure Valve is going to go ham. I bet Tiva Dodo's got some awesome sets jammed up, particles going everywhere.
I wonder who...
I can't wait.
Who's getting nerfed into the ground here? Let's see. Who's this current week? Let's see. Biggest winners. Who's the highest pick rate? Let me see. The current highest pick rates are Pudge, Sniper, Ogre, Lion. I mean, that's all brackets. Hold on. Let me get out of this garbage.
Yep.
Let me see the meta. All right. Most picked in Immortal bracket currently in pubs. Ember, Void, Rubik, Queen, Lich, Pango, Grimstroke, Mars, Jakiro. Wow, lots of Jakiro picks lately.
Dude, I'm telling you.
Clark,
all
MP.
about lanes. THD, He slays it.
Yeah, that all sounds about right. Nothing really jumped out. I guess, our boy Clinks, looks like he got appropriately nerfed, Like he's sitting around like 10% at the higher brackets, 52% win rate, nothing too crazy.
Okay.
I think Lycan is still 60% win rate in Immortal right now. That's a bit of an issue.
He's the big problem, man. I'm telling you, especially in pubs when all you have to do is say, guys, come with me. You just call it whenever you have your items. You kind of do your own thing. I think he's so good that your teammates are sort of willing to follow your lead because they know, hey, dude, if we just fight around our Lycan, we got options. Why wouldn't we do it? Let's just let the meta carry us here.
Now, mind you, in terms of other win rates, it goes Lycan, Visage, Lone Druid, Beastmaster, Brood. Those are the 5 highest in Immortal right now. And they all have one thing in common. They all have additional units They can all theoretically either build Necro, but obviously not Lone Druid, but in his case, he's got the Bear, which is kind of close.
Yep.
So that's pretty nasty. Although, funnily enough, though, it's surprising that Bane is also, as we pointed out earlier this week, one of the highest win rates because Bane gets countered by like all 5 of those heroes.
Yep. Wow. That's some dirty shit, dude. High level pubs are a toxic place right now.
Yeah, his three of his absolute worst matchups in terms of pub win rate are Lycan, Visage, and Beastmaster. So imagine if those 3 heroes weren't even good, how busted Bane would be. Dude, that's insane.
That makes me want to queue up some Bane and just run around and smack people. It's just lane domination, man. You slow down the momentum.
Man, Bane is busted, guys.
Nightmare sets up. Control is good right now. Is that our takeaway from your weekly update on the Immortal win rate analysis?
Rushdown is very good. That's what I would say. Rushdown's the play, right? I mean, you got Lycan, Visage, Lone Druid, Beastmaster, Brood. Like Enigma is right after Bane, then Arc Warden. Even Veno has a 54% win rate in Immortal. Like, hello, Veno? Really?
All right, so it's classic Dota. Tilt your enemy, get in their heads, cripple them in 15 minutes so they give up, and that is the optimal way to farm MMR. There's this gentleman's agreement, right? Hey, if we're going to lose fast, win fast, that way we can just keep the cycle going.
Now, what about the bottom of the barrel? Who's the losingest heroes in Immortal right now?
All right, let me take a guess here. Let's pop a few.
Hit me with what you think.
I bet Huskar is pretty low because of the changes of no more magic resistance from strength.
Well, keep in mind this is pubs, remember? So if someone picks Huskar, come on.
What?
Probably a good Huskar game. Keep that in mind.
Oh yeah, okay. So this is high level.
Yeah, he's around 50% for reference. Huskar.
All right, that's surprising. I bet Wisp is pretty low.
Actually not.
In high level,
about 48%.
All right. Shit, I don't know.
There's 2 heroes that have a 43% win rate.
Ooh, are they obvious
and they
or
both
are they forgotten
have
about?
Early farming potential, actually. It's actually Sven and Gyro.
Okay, Sven is not surprising. Gyro is relatively surprising.
And then OD is third worst.
All right, that one again. I should have guessed OD. That would have been good. Why Gyro, though? What's his deal? I mean, I thought he would be amazing in terms of being able to put pressure on in lane. He farms super fast. He kills Ancients.
I don't have right off the top of my head, I can't say I know why. Because, yeah, he is relatively fast going. What is his itemization? Is itemization that bad? Not really. Like, he can kind of build these, like, S and Y styles.
Yeah.
I guess the heroes that he counters are particularly good, other than, like, Phoenix, I guess. Io's not that great. Maybe that's another reason.
Okay. Fair enough.
Blade Mail's pretty strong. I wonder if that helps.
How come Visage in pubs is good, but when we see Visage in our pro games, he looks kind of like a hot barrel of ass?
Because Visage requires coordinated defense and,
So what, just the shitty teams are picking Visage?
In a pub game, it's probably some, like, Visage spammer who's playing it nonstop and picking it 10th or something, I don't know. I think anything that requires good communication and actually trying to coordinate your team is going to be... That's another factor with like Lycan, Visage, Lone Druid, Beastmaster, Broodmother. Like, trying to coordinate your teammates to shut down a Broodmother is pretty annoying in pubs.
You're not wrong.
I'm sure even at the highest level that still exists because everyone wants to play a little bit greedy, right?
Yeah.
Now, for you guys, our viewers, let me just check the Crusader and lower bracket. I'll give you guys the real dirt that you guys need. Ogre Magi, 56.4%. Wraith King's also 56%. Jakiro, 55.7%. Underlord, Bloodseeker, also 55%. Then for you guys who are like, excuse me, Trent, I am not Crusader. I'm actually Archon.
I'm Legend. Hello.
We'll get there next. Archon, very similar heroes. You got Bloodseeker, Wraith King, Ogre, Beastmaster. You Legend gamers, that is where finally the brain becomes big enough to play Lycan, apparently. That's when Lycan takes over the win rate. I guess it's Crusaders that have their keyboards plugged in, and they found out what a control group is.
I guess it's true. If you don't know to build Necrobook on Lycan, for example, he's probably pretty fucking bad. It actually
jumps by 2% in each bracket. His win rate just keeps going up as you get higher.
That's great.
There you go.
A real big brain hero, Lycan is. He's got a lot of summons, so intimidating to newer players for sure.
I wonder who's the worst hero in lower brackets. Leshrac is actually the worst hero in Legend and below.
Is that really surprising? I mean, Lesh is pretty sensitive. If you fall behind early, you fall off hard. He's got a skill shot. You know, most of them dumb bitches are leveling up the stun, thinking they're going to hit everything, and they're missing most of them when they could be leveling up the edict, getting free damage. I mean, Lesh can be pretty terrible if you don't know what's going on. Yeah, but he can also,
like, run down games, and we're in kind of a faster style.
Yeah,
we've seen a lot of good Lesh games.
Yeah, if you know how to use all of his spells in tandem and buy Yule Scepter and items that make you live. If you don't, you just charge it and die, dude. Do you tell me a Herald leshrac is going to do anything? He's going to hit lightning, run into the jungle, miss a stun, walk around the jungle, come back in, pop edict, walk away, not use Pulse Nova because, you know, he's going to double tap it thinking that you got to cast it on somebody. Come on, dude.
You're not wrong.
You're not thinking like a Herald here. You're thinking like a big brain ancient player.
Okay, I will say there is. Excuse me, I was a divine player. I just haven't calibrated yet. Thank you.
Yeah, I was an ancient player too. I've just been drinking while I'm playing. I'm on a bender. What do you got, huh?
Ogre's actually so broken that he is the second most picked hero in Crusader and below, and he still has the highest win rate. He's picked in 26% of games.
Who?
And has a 56.5% win rate. Ogre.
Wow.
That's crazy. Those are some big numbers. That a big number, as Lex would say.
Big number.
That's like auto win shit. Like, if you guys have half a brain, that sounds pretty auto win, dude.
Ogre. Okay.
Wow.
I mean, Ogre is easy to play. And he's good. He does a lot of damage.
I think people just waste so many spells, I'm sure, at that lower level. They probably all just cast their first spell on the Ogre every fight. And even if he dies, it doesn't even matter.
I think having built-in regen like that, you don't realize the advantage you have. You're exactly right. What is Undying's win rate at lower levels? Because he's always been like, if you're all just running at each other fighting, there's no doubt Undying's pretty good.
Undying is currently sitting at the lowest. If you're right, hits his highest win rate. Is in the Crusader and lower at almost 53%.
Dude, there you go. Sniped it. That's what Jack always used to say about lower Chinese pubs. It's just a slugfest, so he would just pick Undying and let the fighting begin. Go fisticuffs, you know?
Well, I saw someone asking what about Veno is making him win, which intrigued me enough to be like, yeah, that's a good question. Because like right off the bat, though, I mean, he's a Spirit Vessel builder. That's already big thumbs up, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if it's a Spirit Vessel game, he can go for that. He's a good aura builder with like Greaves and everything. And
so you play him on 3? Is that kind of the thought?
Yeah, everyone who I've seen is playing off lane, which makes sense.
Okay.
But like at the Immortal tier, it kind of makes sense that he would do well just because like they can identify just about the enemy heroes like which aura is going to be best this game, and you can pretty much get it on the hero.
Mm-hmm.
He can build numerous aura items. He can also build utility items like a halberd when it's necessary. Even going for the early boots of travel is still viable, as I see some of these games have opted for that too. So kind of interesting that he's in fact, if you actually look at this builds page, I'm gonna link it in chat for you guys who are here. You can actually see the opponents and the teammates that they have. So you can kind of look at this and be like, oh, okay, so this Venomancer saw in this game and he's against a bunch of magic damage. That's why he built this, right? That kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm. Very flexible. Think Nature's Prophet, right? We see no one do it all the time. He goes these crazy different items, not crazy, but vastly different. Anywhere from Mech first to Orchid first to Maelstrom first. You can buy like Shadow Blade if you need to be really sneaky, rare, but it could happen. He's a right-click and carry, and he's also this tanky, almost frontliner sometimes. Like how many games have we now remarked at the Nature's Prophet where he gets, quote, caught, and there's 3 heroes whacking him, and he kind of just stands there and takes it, and then his teammates show up, and they turn the fight, and you're like, huh, that Prophet's pretty fucking tanky. It feels weird every time. Why is it so? Why is he deceptively tanky? Does he have like crazy strength gain or high
I don't even
base
think
armor?
his stats are that good. I mean, for the most part, it was no one with the mech build, which did make quite a bit of sense.
Yeah. I mean, that's a classic build on the hero. Do you ever see that video of Toby doing a guide?
Did I ever see that video? Come on.
I still think about that. I remember Gods was the first person to show me that, and he laughed maniacally as we watched him feed on Nature's Prophet with that awesome mechanism.
It was just too
creeps. Oh, Toby.
That was a classic, man.
Love you.
What? He does not have 3.6 strength gain. There's no way. Pretty sure it's like 2 something. He ain't that jacked up. You guys are wild.
All right, we're looking at it.
He's got 2.6. That's actually higher than I thought. I thought it was like 2.4.
That is solid.
That's not bad. But yeah, the armor is definitely like any of these int heroes that have high agi are always good.
Yeah, it's true. You always kind of forget that he's an int hero. He feels like an agi hero.
Those right clicks, man.
What is his agi gain? I'm trying to find it, but I'm brain damaged.
3 points. Someone's put in chat. 3.6.
That's his agi? Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, geez. Well, that makes sense. That's why he right clicks like a monster.
Yeah, it's one of the higher ones too in the whole game. It's like literally if you actually order the chart, it's 5 agi heroes and then Nature's Prophet, and then the rest of it is pretty much agi heroes after that.
So, all right, dude, watching no one actually makes me want to try playing Prophet. You got to stack up your role queues in Dota. I know you don't pub that often, but if you want to play ranked and you want to play any specific role, you need to use your role queues. Right. So to get your role queues, you got to queue up for everything. So you need to be prepared to go
Prophet
mid.
Every game.
Well, I'm just saying that like there are scenarios where sometimes I have to play mid or position 1, and my only mid hero right now is Sniper. And
why don't you just play DK?
Oh yeah, all right, DK. Sometimes I get tired of playing DK sometimes. I can't play DK every game. It drives me fucking crazy. I can only do it like 40 to 50% of the time. I got to spice it up with something else.
All right, fair.
He's a little too one-dimensional. So, what do you think? Is the Prophet mid an illusion, or is it actually like meta and pretty playable?
I can definitely see you being successful.
Okay.
Because like the lane's gonna go well, right? You just throw treants at them, whatever.
So, do you use the treants to last hit, or you just shove them into the heroes? You just use them to harass.
Both. Use the last, or use them to deny. Just put them all in one control group. Don't go too crazy with it, and do whatever it is. If the guy's got bad armor, send him at the tree at him. When he goes under the tower, pull them back and start last hitting. No, just use them like you're playing StarCraft.
And then you just TP in and help your buds. You know, they get dove on. You just jump in, fight.
And the TPing in would be extremely effective in pubs.
I would imagine, especially at the 3K bracket, dude.
Yeah,
rotations. That's all right. I gotta play a little Prophet. That sounds good. The ultimate has really pushed me over. We have seen so many crazy Wraths of Nature.
500 damage last hits on the ultis
at level 6.
Yeah,
it's bananas. And how do you fix this spell? I kind of feel like this might get tuned down.
I think it's fine. I don't think it. Maybe slightly less growth on the bounces.
Like 10% instead of 11 or something, some little adjustment.
Maybe even single digits.
maybe 8% toner down. It's 11% growth per bounce, and it can jump up to 18 times. So if you do it in a time when the creeps are meeting each other and you can cast it on one side of the map and they're on the opposite side.
18 level 1?
I think it's just 18 at all levels.
Oh, yeah, you're right, it is. For some reason, I thought the levels scaled.
The only thing that scales is the damage, I think, right?
Oh, yeah, the bonus damage, and then the bonus damage per unit, which we haven't even talked about that.
Wait, what is that?
That's a whole other aspect. I don't even think we've mentioned that. We mentioned that in like 2 casts.
Wait, I don't even know if I know what this is. What is it?
Remember, we were talking about it, how when he ultimates, he gets bonus damage per unit hit. He gets bonus right-click damage.
Why?
We had this discussion on like the second Nature's Prophet game, and you were like, "Oh yeah, they added that," and I was like, "Yeah."
I forgot again. I didn't commit that to memory. Wow, I'm a boast, dude. Wrath of Nature is fucking busted. This spell is awesome. And
I bet
it's an 85-second cooldown. It's not even
like
that
20% of people watching actually didn't even know that. Like when we're actually casting the game, because you don't really see it, right? It just gets added to his attack damage, and you're like, oh yeah, I know that he hits hard.
So yeah, exactly. That's why it's such an illusion. So it's only per unit's killed, so it has to kill creeps, but it scales 4, 5, 6 per creep killed. So even if a third of your bounces, 6 of them hit something, that's like a plus 30 damage buff. That's pretty good. That's at level 7.
It's something.
I mean, wow. Prophet's even better than I realized, dude.
Oh, man.
It's just the ability to teleport in the current meta, because roaming is so awful. I think that's part of why he feels so good. It's not worth it to walk across the map, even if you get the kill. It's so sad seeing these support Miranas walk from top lane to mid. They yuck an arrow. Even if they hit it, they don't get the kill. They click in circles and go, well, I guess I'm going to go somewhere else now. I don't really know. Even if you get that kill, it doesn't feel worth it. But with teleportation...
The killing of the catapults is cute in pro games where they're like always knowing that, like, they're going to commit to the catapult siege. That's like a big part of the pro meta. It's like everyone's timing and they're knowing about the clock and being ready for that, especially when you don't have good pushing heroes. You just want to abuse the catapult. So Mirana is cool for that. But in your pubs, that's not going to happen. She's not going to be there for that. She's going to be busy arrowing creeps. I've always said the last person I want on my team is a support Mirana in my pubs.
You said that earlier today.
I did. I firmly believe that. Like, it's just... It rarely works out well. Of course, it doesn't mean there's bad ones, and I'm sure some guys are great. Pub Mirana's. In fact, she was one of my most winningest heroes. I had like 52 wins or something on Mirana. I was slaying. I had like a super high win rate playing at support back when she was way more broken. But still.
Okay. All right. Position 4 that's worse than Mirana. I'm trying to think of this. I feel like there should be somebody. I'm looking at the list, and is Snapfire that bad now?
No. I would way rather have a Snapfire. Are you kidding me?
I don't know. She seems pretty
I'd rather have
dumpster.
a support invoker while it's still not even meta than a Mirana. Your guys, at least Pudge will press R on that one BKB guy late game, all right? That's all I'm saying.
I almost said Warlock, but I don't think that's fair either. I also almost said Shadow Shaman because, all right, how about Techies is all I got, dude.
What? I'd rather have Techies. You kidding me? I love having Techies on my team, unless it's Slacks. I don't even care if I win with Slacks on my team as Techies. He's just not fun to play with when he plays Techies.
Yeah. I'd rather have a Mirana than a Techies. I think you're underestimating the ultimate in the pub scenario in terms of having a support that can just smoke your team like that. It's so
but
easy.
Every Mirana is so toxic because one person will finally say something about them missing all their arrows, and then they'll just rage.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know. What's the way to say? It's a spectrum of bringing people back from tilt, okay? And in this case, all I need to do is convince this fucking bozo to press one button and he makes me invisible from anywhere on the map. That's a way easier sell than Tide Hunter. Please, buy a Blink Dagger. Please, use your ultimate. Like that, that's something else. You got to get him in the right spot. You got to make sure it's the right time.
I'll still take support Tide. Moonlight, you guys are in my game. Go ahead. I'll take it. Max Gush? Sure, dog. You're in. Let's go. Minus that armor.
How about my support Void build? That sounds terrible. Void, Void's pretty awful.
What do you think he's gonna be more likely to miss, Arrow or Chrono?
Maybe Chrono. Chrono's a little more punishing, dude. I have not had many good Void games, nor have we seen any. I wonder if is he been picked anywhere? Is he in China or something?
Didn't we have? I think OG's been playing it on Sumail. Every time I turn on an OG game in the mornings when I'm waking up, I see Sumail playing it.
Okay, so we might get to see it at some point.
Yeah, very likely.
Wow, that'd be cool.
I look forward to it.
Yeah, definitely. Void's fun to watch. He's okay. All right, I got the real one, and then I'm done. It's not Undying either. Fucking support CK. Come on, dog. Support CK.
Have you seen that Aghanims, dude?
Oh,
come on.
That's only good with Luna. Is it still to make illusions? They didn't change it, did they? It's still Phantasm on a target?
I think so, unless I'm out of the loop.
I mean, I don't think we've seen a CK Ags in any of the games we've cast, so.
That's because we got no support CKs.
I mean, that combo is actually a thing. Luna with the full damage Phantasms is...
Look at this. Rap Soulish. I have a 75% win rate with support CK. Look at this guy. Look at that. What a legend. See?
Wow,
Boom.
look at that. That guy's
you can pick at any time.
That guy's not a regular chatter either. We just pulled somebody out of the darkness who's just like, yo.
He's just like, yo, I'm in on this.
Yo, fellas, I wasn't
that's
involved.
Right. They buffed it. It's everyone. I actually forgot about that.
Wait, what?
It used to, it's all your allies. And CK gets them all. And they work with Reality Rift.
Wait, I'm trying to read exactly what it says because that sounds... Creates an illusion
like a little AoE, and it copies everyone inside it. I remember this, and I was like, oh my god, it's going to come back. And then I don't think anyone's done it since.
What?
Yeah.
So you get one illusion for everyone that comes together, but you could double your team, and when you're level 3, they do 100% damage. I don't know if that's actually better, because before it used to make, like, imagine 300%.
Before it was 3 Terrorblades. That was the strat.
3 Lunas.
Yeah. I don't know. It's kind of cool, though.
With the right lineup. There's probably a Go Black lineup you could draft that makes this crazy. but That's interesting. I totally missed that change. I probably read that and went, well, that's irrelevant and not worth committing to memory. I'll look that up if it ever happens.
Yeah, I don't know why the SD Illusion Soul Catcher thing was just a weird function of that hero, as Overtone's mentioning. Because, like, you had to take a talent for it. I think that was kind of stupid. I liked it better when it was just, like, on the skill. Or I would prefer if it was just on the skill, like, not just completely removed. Seems strange. But, yeah, we just lost that illusion for some reason.
Yeah, but the games have been good. I've been enjoying the casting grind as well. It's nice to really dive into something, and it's a little tiresome, but it's also really cool because you feel like the games are kind of fresh in your memory. When you're watching them, you're like, okay, cool. This is an adaptation. We saw 4 games where they did it this way. Now they're doing it this way. And
yeah, the whole sticking with the one group makes it way better.
Yeah, and when it's every day, it's worth the trade-off of it being a little bit of a grind because you feel like you're really diving in, and it's almost making your job easier because it's all happening in one big story, and you got a front row seat, man.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I've been on in the last draft. Some of my other stuff, yeah, I admit I made some mistakes otherwise. So my drafting's on point. At least I got that going for me.
Yeah. I guess that's true.
Yeah.
Saw some Meepo. That's also been kind of fun. We've seen a pretty good variety of heroes. I still feel like this meta is in a pretty good spot. We're seeing maybe a little bit less hero diversity than we were like a year ago? There was this window where it felt like we had kind of peak hero diversity, and then somehow it got a little bit boring, and we've had a few patches since then that have really changed things up. But we got a few folks that feel pretty irrelevant. You know, you're like Shadow Shamans, Dazzles, ODs of the world. They're just dead.
Our completely unpicked and unbanned for all ticketed matches for EU and CIS. I will just read the surprising ones. I think Lich is kind of surprising. Fuck it, I'll just read them all. We got Arc Warden, Darkseer, Gyro, Huskar, Io, Lich, Lion, Medusa, Nightstalker, Nyx, Omni, OD, Pudge, Sand King, Spiritbreaker, Sven, Techie's Terrorblade, Underlord, Venomancer, Viper, and Zeus. That is all just picks. Sorry, not just picked or banned. Those are heroes that have just not been played.
Not been played, so they might have been banned.
Because there was a Huskar ban. But out of the vast majority of those have also not been banned either, though.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so like Io has never been banned, which is very surprising.
So, man, why is Lion so irrelevant? I feel in pubs that hero feels so strong. The mana drain's annoying. He's got so much disable. I know he's weak in the first few levels and he can get bullied, but he also ramps up so effectively.
I think he doesn't fit well right now because like he's not a strong lane support. So what are you gonna do? Play him 5? If you play him 5, your carry suffers. If you play him 4, your offlane suffers. The only thing that he's like good enough at is countering these like embers and void spirits and stuff like the hex, but his ulti just doesn't feel that great to me. I don't really think Lion's ult is even his best skill.
I don't think so either. No, it's nice that it racks up damage now. I think that helped it along, but maybe not quite enough. And I don't even know if buffing that really changes things.
It's also the range factor, I think, of his like abilities is just kind of shit. Like you basically need Blink to feel good.
Yes, absolutely. I was just kind of thinking that. Maybe if there were more illusion heroes, doesn't really feel like this is a crazy illusion meta, and that is one area where the mana drain can scale. Because you get what level do you get the multi-target mana drain? Is it 15? Is it 10?
I think it's 20.
Let
me double check.
20 is 20. Not nearly as good. Okay, well, I wouldn't maybe call that.
Although surprisingly enough, Nyx though that seems really weird.
Dude, he was number 2 on my list. I guess I don't know where Omni's been. Maybe he's been tuned down a little bit, but Nyx is. There's still heroes like Batrider being played, Enigma, some heroes.
I feel like I'm about to click China and they're gonna have like 40 Nyx games or something. That seems really weird.
I mean, I feel like he hard counters a number of heroes that are relatively relevant.
Yeah, that makes me think the page is like bugged or something. That just sounds kind of crazy.
Is this a test? I've been paranoid recently when I read data points like that. Is this a test? Is someone testing me to see if I'm an idiot? Am I supposed to reject this as valid? I think I'm just getting old and stubborn.
Yeah, that just seems really crazy that they're not playing Nyx in that entire region, or in the entire EU CIS. Yeah, like look, Nyx Assassin is. I just scrolled past him. He's like near the top here. Like what? F Nyx. In the Dota Pit League, all right, he got four games and 9 bans. I mean, that's at least respectable.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
How did he just get so ignored? Meanwhile, well, let's see the heroes that China ignored out of curiosity. They've ignored Windranger and Undying and Tinker and Warlock. We've had all those. They've ignored Pugna completely. They've ignored Ogre. They've ignored Meepo. They've ignored Juggernaut and Elder Titan. Bloodseeker. Luna. They ignored Luna the entire tournament. All right, now, mind you, this one ended like 10 days ago, but still.
I mean, Luna does feel like kind of a new advent, but like even Ogre? Oh, wow, that's not a single...
I think the Pugna one is just shocking. I can't believe they went that whole tournament with no Pugna, no Broodmother either, not even picked or banned. Some Chinese team needs to pick up Broodmother, guys. Come on.
I guess
What
so.
are you doing?
I mean, we saw it get dumpstered today, so maybe I just have recent history bias. But yeah, the Pugna is shocking. I think this hero has been criminally underloved for so much of Dota's history, and I truly don't know why. His burst damage is insane. Since they changed his ultimate, he can fit in a variety of roles. He doesn't have to be core, dude. You could do that stupid Tranquil Boots bullshit. He's good at saving allies. He fucks up people in the lane super hard. He fits with all these stupid lycan lineups that push really fast.
They had 13 IO bans and 0 picks. I love that. They had 39 Timbersaw bans, 1 Timber pick, and he lost.
Wow. Wow. 39 Timber bans.
That's too good.
What? Dude, that is insane. So that's like one of the things that makes Dota so great is that the meta really does vary. When you have these matches that exist in these little bubbles, North American and European pubs, and you have these Chinese pubs that are their own thing, it's like, how could it be so different? How is it possible that there's such a different read on what's strong in the meta? It's kind of amazing. I guess the real sweet spot is the similarities, right? Those are the heroes that we are confirmed busted. That
they must be good. I bet Valve probably takes a look at that. They probably have some sort of like program that filters out between the regions and shows like a trifecta of like, okay, who is like jacked up everywhere right now? You know?
Yeah, they do. His name's Ice Frog.
Yeah, that's true. BCOP point out, look at the win rates for Mars that tournament. Grimstroke, 26 games, 30% win rate. Ouch.
Jeez, for China or EU?
In the Chinese league.
Oh,
because BCOP was covering it with Wofra, right?
Okay.
And Mars, 14 games, 28% win rate.
That seems insane. The games that we've seen from Mars, he has looked phenomenal.
Yes, we were talking about the stacking Pugna Tranquil Boots the other day. If you guys haven't seen that one, that one's coming.
Yeah, I thought it was a meme. I thought that was a test. But yeah, the Tranquil Boots are just super value regen, and when you heal your allies, they get mana once they're healed off at 100%. And the regen that you get from the Tranquil Boots is substantially cheaper than any of the mana that they could buy through Mangoes or Clarities. So it ends up being a super beneficial like net worth gain relative to what they would spend on mana regen. And you can just sit there and keep topping off your cores. And you're sitting in the back, and you can still fuck people up with decrep and still knock down some towers with your Q and do most of the things that Pugna wants to do. I mean, I feel like we never talk about Nether Ward, but come on, it's pretty good against like these Storm Spirits that we keep seeing.
It's now a laning tool, even. Like, it actually gets utilized there, too.
Yeah, sure.
All right, I'm looking, just as a side note here, as I was looking this up, I was looking at FY stuff, because I was looking at LGD games. So FY, a lot of pros have hidden their public match data, you know.
Okay.
Not everyone can see it. You can actually see FYs. So all his pub games. This guy is ranked 47 in China, and he still randoms in random draft because he already plays random draft because that's what everyone plays in China, and he randoms.
That's pretty badass.
Yeah, that is badass. What a beast.
I mean, I guess it helps level it out that he's playing RD, so the other team isn't just picking meta shit. You know, that's kind of the beauty of the random part.
Yeah.
It balances itself out that you don't get counterpicked like the same way we do in NA pubs. You know, if you don't last pick your mid, you might bump into issues.
I know we already mentioned the fact that the battle pass was announced, but did you see how they did it? By the way,
well, I saw that Reddit thread thing where it was that the announcer?
Summon the battle pass.
Yeah.
Cameron from the dev team just answered with the ghastly eerie quote and just dropped the
link to that meme.
date. He's like, early next week.
Yeah, I saw the picture. I can link it right here. It's like Lena with, I don't even really get it. It's just Lena doing math that I don't understand.
Well, the 10% plus 7% equals 100% is dank.
Is that
one's
bash?
good.
That's like 17%.
17%
chance to hit.
All right, Spirit Baker.
Yeah. Okay. What's all the other shit? 0 divided by 10 plus 10 divided by 7 times 3.
In the Reddit thread.
Oh. Okay. Yeah. So it is all.
I will paste them in chat for you guys.
Okay, so is Pimp Muckle?
You just listen to the picture.
Is Pimp Muckle just like hard for ages looking at these dank math memes? Is that what's happening right now? JJ, where are you? I'm putting out the J signal.
And then this is all from Atomic Biscuit on Reddit, by the way.
The second one is referring to Navi's, Carry, Havost, and the 4 meme. 2 less than n less than 4 for n given n must equal 3 as natural numbers are positive integers and n is an element of this set. Valve's favorite number. 0 divided by 10 plus 10 divided by 7 times 3 is 0/20/21. This references the Melk Award. Melk playing Venomancer finished the game on 0, 20, and 21 stats while still winning the game. Set 4/5 times set 4, set 3.41 times set 3. The resulting matrix is set 3154, a Chinese meme referencing a player.
I can't believe it's now just a Chinese meme. 3154 was huge when it happened. Agent 3154, Envy, Team Secret. I just looked at the thread. That was 4 years ago.
Jesus, dude.
And now I feel old.
Wow, those are really dank math memes. Holy shit. So this is what I was talking about with the Battle Pass. So I said, it's TI-10. We should expect Valve to go fucking ham because this is a hallmark year. People are ready to spend. They're ready to be excited. And I think this whole COVID lock-in thing might actually swing it where we're going to be so desperate for something to rally around that we're all genuinely excited about to bring it back. This TI is going to be fucking nuts. And Valve wants to make sure the Battle Pass is going to live up to it. This is a sick reveal, dude, and this makes me so excited to see what's going to be in this thing. I'm gonna go big, dude. I hope there better be a Dazzle Arcana. There better be a Witch Doctor Arcana, dude. If that's it, I'm going in. I'm going level whatever gets me my Witch Doctor.
Yeah, okay.
Who's gonna get it? You want to make a bold prediction?
We got the runner up, right?
Oh, I have no idea. Is that who gets it by default?
Isn't it?
I don't know. I'm not a big Arcana guy. Twitch chat, you want to educate me?
Yeah, that was the plan. That's what it has been the last 2 years, right? The person who came second just got it like on the next one, like Io.
Oh, maybe you are.
Oh, it was Windranger. Windranger came second. Remember with the Ogre thing?
Oh,
and then, man, I thought Ogre was going to lose that for sure.
Me too. I really did. I mean, the Ogre Arcana is what it is. It's cool for what it is. It's not for me, but I
like it.
It's cute. I think it's a nice addition to the game. I would not buy it though.
Dude, that's too good though. Like if they actually make the Windranger one with all these like Slacks memes lately, that is so on point right now.
Dude, Betway fucking slayed it. Jesus Christ.
That is comical. Valve would love that. They'd love to mess up Slacks and his life.
Yeah, can we take a moment to appreciate that video and how like viral it went? I don't know if we really talked about it on here. How many views does it have?
No, I haven't talked about it.
Slacks Windranger. All right, so how many is it up to now?
Why I hate Windranger.
And 40,000 views. So if you open that video, there's one thing you're going to notice.
It has a humongous presented by Betway in the top right the entire time?
Yes. So this video is straight up just like a thing that we had to do for Betway because some things in Midas mode didn't exactly go according to plan. So, you know, we want to keep working with Betway in the future, so we made an agreement to do a little bit of extra content. And this was just a kind of, let's say, random idea that we had. You know, we did a brainstorm session, did a little creative storyboarding, and tried to come up with some stuff that would work for Betway. Because don't forget, there were several content pieces that we made for Midas Mode that Betway gave the fat, we cannot put this next to our logo, so please put that in the dumpster. Some of the things we actually filmed, and then they made us burn. So we had to come up with stuff that was, you know, edgy and would resonate, so to speak, but also was... PC isn't the right word, but fit the parameters that were laid out in front of us. So one thing that Slack said, oh, I know what I can do easily. I can talk about how much I fucking hate heroes I don't like. And when he made this video and showed it to me, I said, it's 28 minutes long. I thought it was like an editor's cut where it had his notes at the end. Because sometimes he does that. He'll send you a video where the actual video is 4 minutes, and then there's like extra shit that just shows you the different like presentations or whatever it is. I started thumbing through it, and it's actually half an hour of him talking about how fucking stupid Windranger is. And I haven't even watched the whole thing. I have no interest in watching the whole thing. I was a little...
All I know is apparently I'm in it. The Mopax is in it.
Oh.
From when I played on that team.
I mean, I sat in on the script writing for it. I gave my notes, but what a crazy... A huge win for Betway. And it's so funny how the content that actually goes like kind of mad is the stuff that we least expect. And Slacks and I have often remarked that over time it feels like we've been less in touch with what's actually going to work. The content that we think is so fucking good and amazing, nobody likes. Some of those amazing profile pieces we did for, was it Midas Mode 1 or whatever it was, they still have like 8,000 views, 10,000 views. We spent days on those scripts and like filming the different shots and like writing out all these really dank jokes. The one where it's Mott and Purge and it ends with Mott saying, and I'm going to fucking eat him. And the whole thing is, it's a 5-minute setup for one cannibal punchline. We laughed for days about that and nobody else got it. And then you make some shit like this that we thought was just going to kind of be there. And it blows up. What is that, Trent? Are we just old? Is that like the recurring theme on this episode? Hashtag old?
No, because, I mean, we've done equally stupid stuff that popped off.
Yeah.
Like the I'm going to eat them. I mean, what about Sounds of the Museum?
I mean, that's another great example. I guess that one doesn't have a crazy amount of views, but when we aired it on Twitch, it was in front of it was like 50,000 concurrents or something. And I thought it was the stupidest video we had ever made. And people loved it. That video was so good. They thought it was hysterical. I'll never forget my initial feedback. They showed me like the 3.5-minute cut, and I said, it's okay, but I think you need to trim down some of the fat and just make it highlights. And Slack said, we just spent 6 hours trimming it down. This is the highlights, you fucking bastard. I was just like, oh God, I think this might be the worst thing you've ever made. And he said, oh no.
Oh, man.
And then I woke up the next day and he made the executive call to air it. And that was it. So, and I was wrong. I admit that I was definitely wrong on that one. But it is a perfect piece of evidence that I'm out of touch.
That event had great content, though. It really did.
Dude.
It had the drunk history stuff. Those were really good.
Those turned out so... I don't know how you guys did that. What was that? Was that you, Slacks, and Shane? Were you guys like the creative leads on that? Purge?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, dude.
I don't remember doing that much for them. I remember being there during the filming and stuff, but I think I was just helping set shit up and everything. And no, I was there for that actually. Yeah, I was in it. Right. But yeah, that was good.
I think that the best one was with Fly. I don't even remember
Fly and Arteezy. That was the best one. The Benjamin Franklin one.
The Ben Franklin. I remember Fly doing the John Wilkies. They saying the names wrong.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah, I
my
think that
gosh.
one was Arteezy and Fly was the assassination of Abraham Lincoln. That's what it was.
Yes.
Arteezy was Ben Franklin, yeah. John Wilkie's booth.
Of John Wilkie's booth. Yeah, here it is. All right, I got to link this. So this is a perfect example. Here, take note, Twitch chat. This is probably one of our most proud pieces. I almost just want to show it on the podcast just to give people a taste here. Should we do that?
Would the audio come through for everyone?
I think so. Yeah, I think the audio is still funny enough
play
for
this thing,
story.
man.
All right, I need a second to set it up, so you gotta help me fill for a hot
we can do some science fiction theater on this thing.
Yeah, let's do it. But this video only has 7,000 views.
Oh God, this was so good.
Isn't that wild though? When you sort of think about it, like almost how is that possible for how much effort we put into these and how fun they were to make? All right, let's see. Can I capture YouTube here? Sorry, I need just a sec. I'm doing live.
I totally forgot I was in this
live production. Yeah, that's what I mean. I thought I remembered you being in some of them. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is, here, let's transition over. So this is from Captain's Draft 4 2018, Pro Player Perspectives, Abraham Lincoln featuring Fly. This is a drunk history spoof. So here we go.
This is Fly, and this is the story of the assassination of Abraham Lincoln. It all started on the cold night of 1864 where a bunch of Confederate spies plotted to kill Abraham Lincoln. And then we move on to 1865, where it actually happened on that evening. The evil Confederate spy named John Wilkes decided that this is the night to go to see something in the theater where Abraham Lincoln was at. He was trying to watch some show, and then he decided to murder him there. And this is how it went down. So John Wilkes comes in and he declares, "I am John Wilkes, Confederate spy." And initially, I wanted to kidnap you, Abraham Lincoln. And Abraham Lincoln is all confused. And why am I even talking to this guy? I'm trying to enjoy my show here. And then John Wilkes says, "I wanted to kidnap you, but now I just want to murder you." So he shot him somehow at the back of the head, even though they were just talking to each other. After shooting Abraham Lincoln in the head, John Wilkes had to escape. And obviously, people were looking at him. So he took out his knife and he cut the guy next to Abraham Lincoln, who was obviously looking at him in a very surprised face, like, how could this be? And then he tried to run away, tried to make a run for it, and he somehow ended pretty much on the main stage of the show and ended up cutting one of the people who were acting out or doing something. He just cut him up as well from the arm up. And then he continued to escape, where he went on a high-speed chase with horses, you know, like you had these carriages back then. And he was on a carriage, and yeah, he was he was starting the race, and the police came after him on their horses, and it was very intense. And then they took out a shotgun. They were right next to him, you know, they pull up, they shot him in the face, and then it was over. Or he might have also just been apprehended and taken to prison.
Oh my God. All right. See, like, that is some, I mean, to be fair, like, that's 7,000 views, right? I mean, we aired that to, 50,000, 60,000 people. We played that during the peak of the tournament. So a lot of people have seen that. But maybe our SEO leaves something to be desired. I don't know, but it's just...
I forgot how funny that was. I forgot I was the main character. I completely forgot that. God, that chase scene was so funny. Remember the first time we watched it, I was just dying. I love the way the camera looked when we do the turn.
Dude, when I saw that, I thought, oh, this is peak Moonduck right here. This is as good as it gets. This is one of our top shelf type deliveries. And I loved it because it was sort of hard to simulate. We didn't want to make the players get drunk. So I remember Slack struggling to simulate. He was making them like, all right, here's the Wikipedia article. You get 3 minutes to read it, and then you got to read it back to me. And they're like, well, that's not enough time. He's like, exactly. I want you to fuck it up. And, Fly was really a good sport about it. And that's part of why he kept laughing, because he knew, like, and then I don't really remember what happened next. I kind of only read it briefly. So I love that it integrated the players and the talent so well, though. A lot of the
that was really good
stuff can be forced. Like some of the game show type stuff is a little rough around the edges. That felt very much like you get so much of Fly, but then there's just this like then Mott pops up, and then Slacks is in it for one frame to get stabbed by a butter knife.
That was so good. That made me miss Lands just watching that.
Seriously, dude.
Which is hard to think happen, because usually content is not your main goal is talent. Although we actually, the last LAN I went to was Singapore. I can't even remember anymore. But that content was really good. We made good content there.
Yeah.
That was pretty fun.
I love that content's become a big part of these events. It does make it so much more fun. But, oh, God, we should do a full science fiction theater one of these days. Should we do one of the other? That was actually pretty fun. I kind of want to do the Arteezy one now.
Yeah, I kind of want to watch that too. Can we watch that one too?
Yeah, let's do it. So here you go, folks. There's a link for you in chat. This went 5,000 views, and this is content with Arteezy's face. We were actually, I remember watching this video back with Slacks, and it was driving him crazy. He kept looking at this number just like, it's Arteezy. I thought anything with Arteezy would get bigger numbers than this, but then it's actually funny, and he was watching it like, is this not funny? I need to understand. All right, here we go. So this is it. This is Pro Player Perspectives, the story of Ben Franklin featuring Arteezy.
Hey guys, it's Arteezy here. This is the story about a boy named Benjamin Franklin and how he discovered electricity. So, one day, this brilliant mind, he's our boy Ben, he went outside, he had a kite, and he had this wet string attached to the kite. He had a jar. There's a key in this jar, and he called out his son, William or some shit. And he's like, William, bro, I need your assistance. So William gladly, he's like, sure, man. Oh, I got nothing better to do anyways. So they conducted this experiment. They were trying to figure out if electricity existed or if there was some kind of charge that could be accumulated inside the jar. So the kite was in the air or some shit. So eventually electricity was being conducted, and fortunately, if electricity actually hit the kite, his son would have died. And there would be some stories, some drama about that, but that didn't happen. It don't matter. So as this experiment continued on, honestly, I don't know the whatever the shit, but at the end of the day, there was electricity. He noticed that the thread of the kite was a bit like shredded, and that there was some visible, like if he put his hand against the jar, there was some charge when he touched it. So that was his personal discovery that something existed, electricity existed. And I'm not sure if that's the whole story, but that's all I could really learn in a 2-minute time frame. Because I'm Canadian, I don't know this shit.
Wow. That one was also fantastic. I'm glad they added that bit at the end, because I was going to say it is even funnier as an American. Obviously, we hear that story growing up, but hearing it told from somebody that's Canadian, and Fly's obviously not American either. He's also got a Canadian stamp, I believe. That makes it so much funnier. You're telling these stupid old American stories that you guys don't know anything about. Oh, it's so perfect.
Oh, God. That was really good. Okay, I don't know any of this shit. Yeah, it's true. All I know is that I just know there was a kite and I didn't even know there was a glass and a key until that. I thought there was just a key. I didn't know there was a jar until we did that skit.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to lie. I don't know it by heart. I'd have to refresh some notes. I don't remember a jar specifically, but it was probably there.
Man, that was great. Those were good content pieces.
Oh, they really were. I'm scrolling back to see if was there anything else. Were there any other? What was this? Yeah, all right, let's do one more. And this one I don't really remember that well. It has even less views, so we're going deeper in the trench. This one is from Yapzor, who is actually really funny. I think a lot of people don't realize that Yapzor has a really, really good sense of humor, and he's relatively quiet and reserved in interviews, but when you get to see him like off camera, so to speak, he's much more animated. So this one is called Post Game Letter by Yapzor. Do you remember this one, Trent? Do you have any lead in at all? All right, I don't remember this at all either. So let's dive in.
My dearest Cinderella, on this day, January 5th, 2018, my team and I fought a hard battle against one of the greatest foes we've ever faced, the evil other team.
Other team? I thought you said you put the answers. I thought you put the answers. Okay.
The evil geniuses. It was a hard game one, but there was an underlord, but General Mid-1 destroyed underlord's plans with a well-played forestaff. Some would ask if pro players buy forestaff on purpose to bamboozle.
What the hell's that word?
Bamboozle.
What is that?
Mess up.
Okay. Purpose to bamboozle underlord's art. And to them, I say yes and no, because it never hurts. One other thing a person might ask is what went wrong in the game we lost. And to that, I would say, Magus.
You missed the end.
Okay, Magnus.
To that, I would say, Magnus. I fear that the challenges are only now beginning. As we have many more opponents to face, I would say that my greatest fear is Team Mineski, because Jab's gone. I'll write to you after my next battle is over. I promise, Cinders, I will be victorious. Custom goodbye.
Goodbye. Whatever.
Very well.
Custom goodbye.
What in the world was that? I think that was like a post-game interview thing.
Yeah, it was supposed to be their equivalent of a post-game interview. So the whole joke was that he was writing a letter home about their victory over EG.
See, that's the kind of big brain shit. Like, we really fancied ourselves little script writer, like sketch comedians, dude. Like, even watching it back now, 2 years later, I'm kind of like, yeah, this doesn't necessarily resonate. I'm not really sure why we.
I mean, you can barely understand them.
I think some of it was driven by when we were doing press day and taking pictures with all the players. We encouraged them to put on some of the gear that gets them in character. You know, the stupid green screen.
Yeah, he did an accent or something.
So yeah, he saw the pirate stuff and he was just like, oh yeah. He started doing a voice as soon as he put on the stupid gear. And Slacks thought it was hysterical, and Yapzor was a little shy about it. So the only way he could get him to do it was to record it off camera, just as audio, and then he filmed B-roll of Yapzor just sitting there in front of the green screen playing with his jacket because he was too shy to do the fucking voice in front of the camera. Understandably so, but Team Moonduck. The music was a little too loud. Sorry. I think all those videos were edited by Quasi, our boy at Travis.
Oh yeah,
over
he was
at
my roommate for that event.
Chaos, over at Chaos Esports.
Yeah, that's right.
Shout out, dude. Living the dream.
Good times. Good land.
Well, that was
Bad
great.
land,
dude.
good land.
That was awesome. That was like the perfect end. Like, we were talking about, casting and quarantine and missing events. I feel like that was the perfect wrap up to the starter for this podcast, dude. That was nice.
Oh, man, that John Wilkins booth, that Abraham Lincoln one's pretty good, guys. I'm not gonna lie. I gotta tweet that thing out later. That was a quality content piece.
Seriously, that needs to be rediscovered. I just kind of want to make a Reddit thread of like, hey guys, maybe now's a good time to laugh at some of this old content we made.
Well, I had this thought. I'm not even kidding. The other day, I was thinking we should do the science fiction theater thing and just watch a bunch of old Moonduck shit with like Suns fan and Slacks and Purge. I don't know. It's pretty funny.
This is really
I'd be down to do it. I was watching all these table reads that are coming up, right? And that's what made me think of it. It's like, I'd be down to watch over that shit.
That's a good idea. This is the perfect time to do some shit like that.
Yeah.
I wonder, how do we sync it all up?
We just all go on a Zoom call and you do this.
All right. Were you just watching on the stream? Is that how you...
Yeah, we could just slap them on the stream and we could put our faces in the corners
Dude, that is a good idea. All right, we need to dig Slacks out of his cave and get him on board. Bring Maud on for a guest spot.
Oh, man, we can watch like the trailers, like the Midas Mode trailers and the first Hub trailer with the Pokemon theme.
Oh, my God. Oh, jeez, dude. We could go deep. There's actually a lot of content out there. Oh, God. We should watch
the Midas Mode shit.
The Midas Mode highlights. Oh, my gosh. Some of them are still so funny. Sometimes I go back and watch that Midas Mode highlight video, and it still makes me laugh. That event was just perfect. It was the absolute right amount of people. It was intense, but it was the right size crew for the setup that we had with the production wasn't overly complicated, but it was just ample enough. It was like minimalist, but still awesome at the same time. And it was over Thanksgiving, so that made it extra festive and just kind of like, the Moonduck family here for Thanksgiving. Slacks' mom making us dinner.
Oh my God, dude. I'm just clicking through the biggest laughs on the Moonduck Hub one too. Like,
God. Yeah, that one's still on the front of the YouTube. Yeah,
we can watch
great.
That one too, man. Oh, there's so much stuff we can watch.
If only there's a way to know that you're in the golden years when you're in the golden years.
I hear you, dog.
Oh, fuck. It passes you by, man. All right. Well, this was a good podcast. This made me feel nice. I'm going to play some pubs, dude. I might go make some dinner and then try a little profit. I don't know. We'll see.
Good
Folks,
luck, buddy.
It's always a pleasure. Thank you so much for listening to the podcast. We'll get this VOD and audio up ASAP. If you joined us late, we'll see you tomorrow for the big series, Dota Pit OG versus Secret. We're stoked, and we hope you'll join us there. All right, folks. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.